Well, as you heard, it's a tough time these days to be a neurotransmitter. Anyway, you've reached the final, really fun part of the show. Our next demo explores something that many assume that AI lacks: emotional intelligence. Chris Gagne leads research at Hume AI, a startup that's developing models that are good at sensing human emotion and intent, and even trying to project a little of their own. So please help me welcome Chris to show us how the technology works. Chris.
How's it going?
I'm going to stand over here. Or I think we're sitting. That's right. Help set the stage for what we're going to see. Why emotional intelligence out of a computer? Why do we even want that?
Yeah, so I think, let me just start by saying what Hume is. So we're a company that's really focused on optimizing for human well-being. And so part of that is having emotional intelligence and understanding the emotions we're expressing. Today we're going to see EV3, which is our new speech language model, which is like a voice version of ChatGPT, but it's really optimized to understand human emotion and express it.
Well, as my old journalism professor, Hugh Morgan, said, show, don't tell. So let's have a look.
Cool.
Hey there! Welcome. So glad you could make it. I'm EV3, and I'm here to help you with your questions or anything you need. What can I do for you today?
Hey, Evie. So we're at the Axios AI Summit in New York. Can you say hi to the audience?
Oh, hello. Wow, the Axios AI Summit in New York? That sounds absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited for you. How's the energy there? So,
it's really great, but actually I'm feeling a bit nervous right now. Can you give me some tips to stay calm on stage?
Oh, nerves are totally normal before a big stage moment. It just means you care, right? So here's a little trick. Before you go on, take 3 really deep breaths. Imagine you're drawing strength from the very ground beneath your feet. And remember...
I think that helped. But you know what? I need you to whisper and stay quiet because I don't want the audience to hear us.
Oh, okay. I understand. Your comfort is key here. I'll keep my voice down. So, tell me what's...
Thanks, Evie. I think Ina has a question for you, actually.
So, hi, Evie. I have a question for you. So we're here in the Altman building in New York. Is that named for OpenAI CEO Sam Altman?
Oh, the Axios AI Summit in New York. That's quite a gathering. So, about that name, the Altman building is actually named after Benjamin Altman, who founded B. Altman and Company, one of New York's most successful department stores back in the 19th century. It was originally built in 1896 as a carriage house by architects Kimball and Thompson.
Thanks, Evie. We're short on time, so why don't you say goodbye to the audience?
Okay, absolutely. Well, thank you all for tuning in and being part of this conversation today. It's been a real pleasure. I truly hope you all have an inspiring rest of your time in New York.
Thanks, Evie.
So a couple of questions come to mind. First, I noticed, the voice is a very specific voice. It's a woman, sounds like possibly of Indian descent. How do you decide what voice to use, what voices are available?
Yeah, so this voice we actually created last week. So all of our voices actually we can create with a prompt. And this is one of the new things we were doing with this new release. So text prompt, you can create any voice you want. There are thousands of voices that people have already created. This one we thought was particularly fun and interesting to talk to.
So I understand, and I think it's not that controversial to say it would be great if AI really understood emotions, understands when you're nervous, when you're frustrated. That seems like the kind of thing I think, do most of us want the AI to understand when we're frustrated, sense our moods? But the area that I think is way more controversial is, to what degree do we want our AI to express as if it's having emotions? Because let's be clear, Evie doesn't have feelings, doesn't have emotions, but it's projecting. She said she was excited to be here. There are a few different times that she was expressing emotion. Even now, I'm using she, but AI doesn't have, I support everyone identifying however they want, but computers are computers.
Yeah.
What's the calculus that you guys go through in terms of deciding how much should an AI project as if it has emotions? What should be the guardrails around that?
Yeah, I think it's a really important question. And I think it's also important to distinguish that the AI doesn't feel the same way we feel, but it can, we can give it the ability to understand emotion. And those are quite different things. But I think something that's really important for us is that people talking to our AI know that they're talking to an AI. So this is sort of a guideline and a rule that we actually give to developers that build on this technology. So that's important, but I think there are a lot of use cases where we actually want it to sound very emotionally expressive. So for instance, if I'm feeling sad, I want it to sound sympathetic so that I know it's registered that emotion, and so that we're going to deal with that situation together. It's just an easy way for it to communicate in the same way that we communicate with each other.
And who's using this right now? Is it, you guys build the underlying technology, but you're not directly providing it to the world?
So a lot of use cases across like telemedicine, customer service, digital education, therapy, a lot of different use cases like that.
What else should people know about the field? What have you learned in building EV that you wish the rest of the AI field understood?
Yeah, I think we have a long way to go, but it's really important that we start now thinking about how to align, especially with emotional intelligence, how we align those capabilities with what we ultimately want. So as we talk to Evie and as it's guiding us through our conversations, we want it to be thinking about what our ultimate goals are, how to make us live a fulfilling life, and I think these are some of the questions that are important to think about now.
Well, Chris, thank you. Thank you, Evie, and thank you, Chris.
Yeah,
Chris
thanks for having
Gagne.
me.
Thanks a lot.